Hello, and this is the FAQ that you've been waiting for. I'm AltimaMantoid, and I'm here to ask your frequent questions.
How do I shot web?
How do I shot web? How do you shot web? That's the important question. Because I know how I shot web, but then again, you are asking me how I shot web. You really don't want to know. But it involves me taking off my pants.
How is baby made?
Well, the way that baby is made is when you take the parts of different animals and you Frankensteinishingly stitch them together. That is how baby is made. You know why? Because the noise that baby makes is almost an abomination unto my ears. It's unholy.
Are you religious, and if so, what faith?
We're getting to practical questions, huh? Am I religious? And if so, what faith? Well, for the longest time I was agnostic and really didn't care. Really didn't have one and didn't care to have one. But I'm sure as you can tell by the pinnacle around my neck, you might be able to figure out what I follow at this point. I'm only a recent follower of it, so yes, Wicca. Interesting stuff.
What screen capture program do you use?
The question of what screen capture program I use is actually a really complicated question, considering that it has been a constant evolution over the years. The original program I used was Cam Studio, and what it did was it was basically just a desktop recorder. I would put the game on the window, and then I would put the window of Cam Studio around it, and I would record inside that window. It was a miracle that I managed to get everything as nicely chopped as I did, because that thing was kind of difficult to work with, considering that you had to tell it where it needed to go and what frame size it needed to record it, and it was kind of complicated. After that, I switched to Camtasia because Cam Studio was no longer able to record what I needed it to record, because it had a 2 gigabyte cache size. So Camtasia, having a bigger cache size, I was able to start recording. This transition happened at Doom 2. In fact, you can see it at map 6, no, I believe map 8 is where I started using new recording software. I believe that was the one. So I started using Camtasia at that point, and fortunately the computer I had, it did not allow me to record the sound and record the, record me talking and the game sound at the same time, so I had to do the same thing that I was doing, which was play the music and the game sound through my speakers, which would pick up in the microphone, which you all know the rest on that. And no, it strangely did not cause feedback. This continued until almost all the way through Final Fantasy, when my motherboard fried from a power surge, popped all the capacitors in the motherboard, so I had to get a new computer. And I want to thank my friend for buying me a computer to continue these. Otherwise, Final Fantasy would still be in the hanging. Anyway, at that point I started using Fraps, which records both my voice and the game audio at the same time. But that's also because I actually have a sound card that allows me to do this in the first place. So, since then, I've been using Fraps, for the most part, to record everything that I need to record. If it's an 8-bit game, I still compress everything using Camtasia, but it's recorded with Fraps. It just happens to compress a lot smaller and nicer using Camtasia, and I don't understand why that makes any sense, but, if it's anything else, though, like the Amnesia playthrough, that was all strung together. All of my Doom speedruns are now strung together using a program called Virtual Dub Mod. Also, I would like to give a little bit of point out the fact that I was using a program called Zillasoft, which allowed me to take the raw AVI files from Cam Studio and turn them into AVI files. And no, I think I was using MPEG at the time. So all of Doom 1 is done in MPEG. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, it's a complicated answer for a not very complicated question, and that's pretty much where it is right now. And so now it basically just depends if I'm doing 8-bit or 16-bit games. I can cram those small, I record them with fraps and then cram them into the Camtasia editor, and I can get really nice file sizes without any loss of quality. But anything that's like Doom speedruns or Amnesia or anything that's going to be more modern, that's all going to have to be recorded with fraps. So that's about the only way I can pull that off. Hopefully you're not confused and this actually answers your question.
Favorite game?
You would ask this question. I wouldn't say I have a favorite game. In fact, I can't even say I have a favorite game series. Obviously, Doom is going to be up there. Mega Man is going to be up there. Some of the Final Fantasy games are going to be up there. But I can't say one of them is my favorite. If I had to pick an absolute favorite game of all time, that one, you would ask this question. I can't give you an actual definite answer, but I will throw a couple out there. Vandal Hearts, Final Fantasy Tactics, Doom, Doom 2, the Plutonia Experiment, particularly Final Doom, Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10, Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3, Mega Man 0 and 03 and 04, and Mega Man X2 and X3 of that series. So, that's about as good of a shot as you're going to get on that answer. No shit, I'm not kidding.
Spider Eyes?
Frog legs.
What about live streams?
What about them? I am still doing live streams, you just have to catch me on when I do them. So, yeah. What about them? No, in all seriousness, live streams are still going. I'm still going to do them. I'm going to be relocating my channel eventually to Twitch TV. When that happens, I'll make a separate video and I will post about it.
Are you planning to have two LPs either fit together or polarize?
The answer to that is right now they're going to be polarized because I haven't really thought about weaving two different gameplay throughs together to, because that would require two games that may play off of each other, and I haven't done that yet. So right now, it's just they're going to be polarized LPs, but we'll have to see how well I can handle two at the same time. Right now, not very well, considering that Earthbound has been updated in almost 2 weeks as of this being recorded, and I've only had like one video of Action Adventure World up, so... but then again, I have been lazy. I mean busy. Y'all did not hear that. I promise if you heard that, I will rip your heart out.
Are you gonna LP any of the Duke 3D add-ons?
The answer to that is a maybe. Right now, I've had a lot of requests for blood, and I cannot seem to get it to work. So, I haven't given any of the Duke Nukem games a try. They may work easier. So the answer right now is maybe, but high possibility of it. So don't get your hopes up if I somehow am not able to. But just keep in mind they are planned. So high possibility, yes.
Can you explain to me how one 10-second video with someone just saying yup can have 200 plus views in a 2-month period?
Because you like to fap a lot. That is exactly why a 10-second video of a girl saying yup can have 200 plus views in like 2 months. Because you touch yourself at night. But then again, so do I, and so does every other guy out there that isn't somehow like not able to touch their dick, or that is not missing their dick.
Will you be doing challenges for each of the Final Fantasy games, or just the first one?
Probably not for each of the Final Fantasy games. I would assume that the ones that I will be doing will probably be like, Solo White Mage. I've got 2 more planned for the Final Fantasy series, maybe 3 more. I wouldn't say for certain. I'm not going to spoil what they are. You'll have to see as surprises, but know that I do have more challenges planned. Because I like to masturbate with a cheese grater. I am a masochistic gamer. Man, I feel like I keep saying things that people don't need to know.
Raggle, fraggle, or rabble, rabble, rabble?
I prefer... Yes, I really do.
Will you be doing any videos with another person in the near future?
There are videos that are planned to be done with other people. I've got something in mind with Zargon102 and Heather Mason, 76. Possibly a fourth person on that, but that has not been decided. The problem is getting time conflicts resolved so that it can be done. But yes, there's also a possibility of a Portal 2 co-op and doing some... there was another game I was going to do, and I can't remember what it was. But it'll come back to me eventually. It's like a boomerang.
Why you no mention cool guy Serdash? I hear he cool guy. Doesn't afraid of anything.
Serdash doesn't afraid of anything. Serdash is cool guy. Why I no mention him?
Because Serdash prefers the company of gentlemen.
Because I'm honestly completely airhead and I forget lots of shit all the time. No, really. Or it may just have to do with the fact that I snorted too much coke that day. That I snorted too much coke that day. God, I really need to watch what I say. Just shit slips out. Like the time that I'm not gonna say it. Because that would be incriminating and, Sir Dash may have to hurt me. By the way, hi Sir Dash!
Are you going to LP any of the insane difficulty mods?
Will I be LPing any insane difficulty mods? Yes, actually, I do plan on a 1.3 playthrough of Final Fantasy Tactics, as well as to continue a live streaming of War of the Gods. I don't know if I'll LP that, but I definitely want to live stream through it to give people, just this view of, the actual thing. I may even do one for, I may even test out some of the ones for Final Fantasy VII Hard Type. So, yeah, just keep an eye out for that one.
Have you heard about SOPA or PIPA?
SOPA and PIPA can go die in a fire. This and this. This is SOPA and this is PIPA. In fact, where's my fucking marker? Hey, it's an ink pen. Oh, and it's not going to write. Nah, damn. Of course, I've heard of SOPA and PIPA. Who hasn't? There's like over 9,000 people against this thing. Like all the people, except for those people that were in support of it. And if something like that ever passes, then I weep for humanity, because we're basically letting all the politicians just do whatever the fuck they want and not give two shits about anybody else. I'm dead serious. In fact, there's not a single motherfucker worth voting for, really. So it's kind of like, what's the point? And to add in, my opinion about it is that it's stupid, it's ridiculously asinine, and I don't know why. This is muffling the freedom of the First Amendment here. And anybody that thinks that this is a good idea is obviously has something wrong with their brain, and they need a lobotomy. That's the only way you're going to fix stupid politicians, is just mass loboticize everybody. And I don't care if loboticize is or isn't an actual word. I am making it a word if it's not. Every one of these politicians that support shit like this, even though they've got, hundreds of thousands of taxpayers sitting here going fucking crazy and being like, this is a bad idea and you shouldn't pass it, and then they still support it, lobotomies, people. We can make great use of them. You know, remove the stupid people and let the smart people do smart things with smart ideas. You know, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. So, SOPA, PIPA, whatever, any other sort of bill that gets passed, or, even proposed in any country, those countries need to reevaluate their leaders and make the possible overthrows of their governments that they need to. So, that's what I think of PIPA and SOPA. It's kind of like, you go to a bar, and you get drunk, and you find this ridiculously fat chick, and you know that she's ridiculously fat, but she wants to jump on your dick more than anything else. And you know that if you fuck this fat chick, and people take pictures, you will never live it down until you admit fucking the fat chick. And it's kind of like fucking a fat chick. And by fat, I don't mean like, shapely, voluptuous women, because voluptuous women are amazing, but I'm talking women that you can't identify where their boobs end. And it looks like more stomach. And they have more chins than a Chinese phone book. And their knees have camel toes. That kind of fat. No. And that was way off base, but you know how I feel about this now. So with that ends the current FAQ, and I hope that you all have enjoyed it. So, yeah. I will see you all later. I'm AltimaMantoid, and until I decide to do one of these again, or until I post something else up, take care and have fun.